Marney Tower is a Tudor palace composed of buildings, gardens and parkland dating from 1520. Situated in Marney, Essex, in England between Colchester and Malden. The building was designated Grade 1 listed building in 1952. Constructed in the first half of the reign of Henry VIII, the Tudor Gatehouse is the tallest example in Britain. The building is principally the creation of Henry I, Lord Marney, who died in 1523, and his son John, who continued the building work but died just 2 years later. This left no male heir to continue the family line or the construction. What was completed was the main range, measuring some 300 feet long, the principal gatehouse that is about 80 feet tall, an array of outbuildings and a new church. The buildings suffered considerable damage from the Great English Earthquake of 1884. The towers needed to be restored. The repairs were begun by brother and sister Alfred and Keisha Peace, who refloored and re-roofed the gatehouse, as well as creating the garden to the south of the tower. The next owner was Walter de Surratt, who carried on and expanded the work. He enlarged the gardens, built a folly known as the tea house, and converted stables into the long gallery. Walter lost money in the Japanese stock market crash and sold the house to a Dr. and Mrs. Campbell. The house came to the present owner, the Carringtons, in 1959. Marney Towers are said to be haunted by the ghost of Lord Marney, who died in 1523 before he finished building them. Several times Henry III Lord Marney is reported to have been seen dressed in full armour and mounted on a charger, riding down all 96 stairs of the 16th century staircase. Sir Henry, as he was then, has also made his presence known many times in Marney Church. In 1900, one Helen Shaftesbury came to see and sketch a painting of Marney Church. She was sitting sketching when she distinctly heard a rustling sound behind her. Then a voice softly said, "Marney." Looking around, there was nobody there. A few minutes later, she again heard rustling, followed again by Marney. This time she got up and walked around the church, but she found she was quite alone and not a soul in sight. About 10 minutes later, the same thing happened yet again. Jumping up, she shouted, "Who's there? What do you want?" But again there was no response. Her attention was suddenly drawn to a monument bearing the inscription, "Sir Henry I, Lord Marney." In the early 1800s, two workmen were engaged in carrying out repairs in the top room of one of the towers, when they heard the door keep slamming. When they found the only door that it could have been, they saw that it was bolted and the lock and hinges were so badly rusted there was no way it could have been opened, let alone slammed. The same men also affirmed that they had seen the figure of a man in armour standing by the door, and around his shoulders was a cloak, and in his hand he carried a large seal. Later, when the men were shown the Marney tombs in Lower Marney Church, they had the impression that the figure they had seen strongly resembled the recumbent figure in one of the tombs. Most recently, there have been reports of a headless chicken running amongst the gravestones in the churchyard. Maybe the fact that it has been seen over the Christmas period might have some significance. There have also been many sightings of a grey lady floating inside the gatehouse and in one of the flats. A playful ghost likes to announce its presence by pulling the bedclothes off the bed, especially while it is occupied.